Hey, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Wednesday, the 22nd. This high pressure really is the gift that keeps giving, isn't it? It just seems to be sat, you know, steadily in the same place for weeks now, giving us obviously wind directions from all over the place, but stable weather. So this one here is just drifting away over the continent, and we're now back into a sort of, as you can see, a westerly flow. And over the course of the next 24 to 36 hours, this cold front will slowly creep down over us. Isobars are reasonably well spaced, so the wind's going to be fairly light. I have to say that the wind actually has turned out to be slightly stronger than forecast on most days. So add a few knots to the tafts that you see in the other forecasts that you look at the wind strength. But light westerly, as you can see from here, and the pressure still reasonably high at 1,028. The tafts aren't really saying very much. Farnborough, 243 knots. The BBC was suggesting a bit more westerly, but I think it will be generally light westerly, probably 5 knots during the day. 10k. There's few at 4,000 feet. Yeah, there's sort of various models showing different sort of amounts of cloud, really. I think we'll go with the few, but perhaps not at 4,000 feet. I think perhaps a little bit lower than that, probably during the day. And tempo this morning, mist and fog. Well, that's probably in the low-lying areas. It's certainly nice and clear here. It was a bit foggy coming in from the southwest this morning. So generally short taff, so it means it's going to be quite reasonable. Upper winds, that's probably about 250, 260. Across here is about right across the centre of the country, 10 knots. I would guess that's reasonable. Maybe a little bit more than that, but not very strong, that's for sure. And quite light and variable right down in the channel here. Satpic still shows sort of areas of fog and low cloud, various places. Nothing here. It's quite bright, temperatures rising quite nicely along with the dew points. Nothing really on the infrared, more sort of up to the north, thicker upper cloud, bits of cirrus. So today, possibly a little bit warmer than yesterday, 21 degrees. They're saying 22 here. Certainly going to feel fairly pleasant today. And dew points, currently they're around about 9s around here, a bit further to the west, 6s and 7s, but they'll be slowly going up a little bit to start off with. I think dew points, if you're looking at sort of dew points around the sort of 10-11 mark, as it suggests here, then I think we're going to have quite a bit more cloud, chance of spread out. Dew points a bit lower, 9s, less cloud, and the few at 3,500 to 4,000 feet will be about right. Plug in those numbers into the soundings. You can see this is the predicted 1 o'clock this afternoon, and hopefully it should be about 20 degrees by then. That's saying about 3,500 feet. Dew points, if they're down, as I say, about 9s, then yeah, that looks about right. 3,500, maybe even 4,000 feet by that time. And certainly later in the afternoon, the line's moving a bit further apart, so less chance of cumulus. BBC was showing a bit of spread out, when you could best describe it as sort of cloud building and staying. And I can understand where they're getting that from when you look at the actual Lark Hill ascent this morning. Quite a strong inversion, sat at about 3,000 to 3,500 feet. What's going to happen? This line will move across here. The inversion will slowly go up and disappear. And as I say, hopefully if dew points stay at around 9 degrees, that they'll meet somewhere around 1,400 meters around here. The inversion will be a little bit above that, so there'll just be small amounts of cumulus. But if the dew points stay a little bit higher, I think you get more chance of spreading out. Top Meteo are going with the few clouds option. Bits of low cloud to start off with, then turning into cumulus by 11, 12 o'clock. And then cumulus around here, 4 to 6, 8, thinning out in the afternoon. And that's as you would expect from that predicted ascent. Tend to find with top meteo, when they predict in certain areas, little bits of cloud, it tends to be more cloud in that area. So I think a cumulus soaring day. And hopefully, look, by 12 o'clock, it should be going, as it says here, to 11 to 1200 meters by early to mid-afternoon. Again, out to the sort of north and west of us, 11 to 1200 meters. If you go by the Met Office forecast, well, 4,000 feet above sea level. Fingers crossed. So not a bad day, actually, on the cards. I think it'll take a while to get going, as it has done. Looking at that ascent, it's going to require sort of 16, 17 degrees to really kick anything off that's going to be decent and usable. And the suggested distance today is here. Not as much as I would expect. I would have thought, looking at the charts, it should be okay up to Oxford, out towards the Cotswolds and out towards the west. But it says here they're good for a couple of 100k, 200 to 300k at most. So another good day, a reasonable day, certainly for this time of year. Right, airspace wise, fairly quiet. 15, as you know, I seem to have said every time we're doing the briefing, is just Southampton's change in hours of operation. Number 16 is the Goodwood temporary danger area, and that's finished now. It runs from early in the morning till 9 o'clock, and it's for testing the beyond visual line of sight drones that they've got there. Do you know when that ends? It's end of this month, I think, isn't it? Yeah, but it might be an extension. Yeah, thought so. Bit busy around the Salisbury Plain danger area. I'm going to scroll down to that, number 17, 18, 20, 21 and 22. But nothing there, I think, particularly going to affect us. So parachuting at Old Sarum, well, there's parachuting normally at Old Sarum, but they're just notifying that it goes beyond their normal time, so 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock tonight. They've got parachuting, clay pigeon shoot at Beacon Hill near Amesbury. Danger areas, the crossing service isn't available for the Salisbury Plain danger areas, and both the Larkhill and Everley danger areas have been activated up to 21,000 feet. Normally they're just, one's 1,400 feet, the other one's a little bit higher. And number 22, paragliders operating. That's near Pewsey. So back to the chart. Little bit busy around Bry's area. Fairford ATZ's activated. There's a fly past late afternoon at Shrivenham and some parachuting this morning inside the Bry's zone, which won't be an issue for us. So apart from that, it's relatively quiet in this area, and the area likely to go cross country in. So operationally, 2-7. And hopefully we'll be on 2-7 all day, and we won't have the sort of faff of an end change because the wind didn't do what it was forecast to do. In theory, no jet movements that we know of, but there could be something. You just don't know. There's lots going on now. The sort of travel restrictions have been changed a little bit. There's a lot of activity over there, so there could be one. But apart from that, I think it's gonna be a good day. Most of the gliders are going to be in use today, folks, the club kit. So get it all out, and we'll see you out there, and we'll set up.